So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got one of the best receiving core in 2024 in the NFL. They have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and now they got a new star that really broke out this year, especially in the last couple of weeks versus the Eagles, the Ravens, both times versus the Falcons. His name is Cade Ott. This is his third year in pro in the NFL. He had his first rookie year when last year of Tom Brady in 2022. Last year, he became a noticeable guy that has a bunch of potential, and this year, man, he just exploded. He is very underrated, a very underrated player as a tight end, most notably in the NFL. He made his impact known in 4 or 5 games this year, and he's probably going to have 8 touchdown season, maybe 7 to 8 touchdowns, because he has the same amount of stats and total yards and receptions and touchdowns from all of last year, and he already done that this year in 8 games. He became a noticeable weapon already this year with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Wait till the rest of the year with Chris Godwin out because of a dislocated left ankle. And he might be back in the playoffs, but until then, it will be just Cade Otton getting the most receptions out of the other receiving core, like Sterling Shepard. He's a pretty decent receiver, but he's not Mike Evans or Chris Godwin kind of caliber. So they're going to rely on a lot of Cade Otton until Mike Evans come back, and that won't be until after their bye week in week 11. But Cade Otton is a very underrated tight end. There's a bunch of tight ends in the NFL that is really good. You got George Kittle, you got Travis Kelce, TJ Hawkinson, and Sam Laporta, and the list goes on. He is not known for his blocking. He's actually getting a little bit better on his blocking, but he is a elusive route runner. In some of these formations, he can get open, and nobody's looking for him, and bam, he's going to go for 10 yards. His average this year is 10 yards. Every time he touches the ball the last 2 or 3 years since he's been in the NFL, it's been around 10, 11 yards. He fits his scheme of Todd Bowles' offensive scheme, and Baker Mayfield has one of the quickest releases in the NFL right now. With that, and plus how elusive Cade Otton is with a great receiving core, and they have a good running game, they're going to have a balanced attack, and Cade Otton is going to get more looks, and he's going to be really dangerous down the stretch of the year. With Cade Otton being in this offensive scheme of the Buccaneers, he is a perfect fit because of the elusiveness, the ways to get open, and his credible route running. When he faced the Eagles in week 4, as a good example, he just took a 7. He just did a 7 route right to out of bounds. But then, when we seen him versus the Ravens, he went freaking deep and caught for 20 to 30 yards on just a go route. And then, multiple times, he'd do this kind of special move. It'll be like this little shimmy, and all of a sudden break it to the left or right in the out of bounds, going to the out of bounds. And sometimes, just as a dump off, he'll be right here, or he will take it right here, very short, and Baker Mayfield can just dump it off. It can have up to 5 to 10 yards with him, just yards after catch, right after he caught it. So the Buccaneers played the Falcons twice already this year in 2024, in week 5 and week 8. And both times, those games were phenomenal, and both big breakout games for Cade Otton. But Cade Otton had a spectacular game, the most noticeable game throughout the year, through this year, and yet to come was week 8 when he played the Falcons, and they had some formations that were really stunning and actually interesting to me. And so you got number 81, and number 81 is Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller is going to take this. He's going to do an emotion, but his route is going to be a comeback route. Well, you got Mr. Cade Otton. He does the same thing, and it goes to almost 10 yards in motion. That was a simple play, but Cade Otton is so dangerous with these comeback routes and how quick the release Baker Mayfield just throws it within 2 seconds. That is dangerous, especially in the red zone and near the goal line. Cade Otton's going to score some points. So guys, in this formation, we have Auten in motion to make it a 3 wide receiver bunch set. So we have one wide receiver. He's going to run a streak route. The other one's going to run a post route. The other one's going to run a streak. So what's going to happen here? Auten's going to run in a motion right here. And guess what? He's going to do a double take move. And guess what? What happened? He is wide open. Because let me tell you something why. The safety is going to be right here. He's going to look at this streak route. He's going to help out the corner because the corner is actually going to blitz. The middle linebacker blitz. This guy, he's going to be late to the party. And plus, he's trying to cover the guy in the post. And by the time this outside linebacker, this left outside linebacker finally knows something, this guy's going to be too late. And he already have, boom, 10 yards after the catch and getting tackled. So guys, what's going on in this play, in this formation, is trip bunch left formation. We got 3 receivers on the left and we got Cade Auten on the right. And so what's going on here? We have no outside linebacker, so we put another corner in. What's going to happen? This receiver is going to run his kind of play because out of motion. And what's going to happen here is these 2 linebackers look like they're about to blitz, and they do not. They're going to back up and play middle of the field. This corner is kind of having a soft coverage, laid back coverage. And what's going to happen? Cade Auten is just going to go right here for 5 or 6 yards and get the first down. That's how quick that offense is. Baker Mayfield already to know his decision. He already had a mismatch off the corner, and he just picked him off 5 or 6 yards and already went for a first down. The elusiveness and quickness of Cade Auten is very underrated, and Baker Mayfield with that quick release, that is a deadly combination to pick up 5 or 6 yards either on a third down or in the end zone. And Cade Auten is being a big mismatch for these corners. So guys, what I'm trying to say is Cade Auten is heavily underrated among the NFL as a great player and among tight ends. He is no doubt a top 5 tight end in 2024 so far. In the future, in the next 2 or 3 years, he's going to be probably one of the best tight ends in the NFL in years to come. He actually reminds me of Dallas Clark when Peyton Manning had Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison, and when both of them getting covered or one of them injured, he had Dallas Clark. He was really reliable, and so far in 2024, Cade Auten has been really reliable when either those 2 receivers, Chris Godwell or Mike Evans, get covered. You have Chris Auten, especially when those guys are injured, and he's become a big player. He reminds me of his athletic ability of Antonio Gates, and actually, if you compare him to anybody in the NFL right now, basically he's like a little inexperienced George Kittle. He's like a George Kittle 2.0 in the years to come. That's how good he is. But guys, it's just one man opinion. You let me know in the comments down below what you think about Cade Auten, and we'll see how well he performs in the rest of 2024.